So today I'll be talking about turbo modules in React Native. So this is a new feature which was introduced in React Native 68. Uh, this is part of the new architecture which the React Native has introduced in 68, and I am using version 71.1. Make sure you use version 71.1 and not even 70.0, because there was this bug which troubled me a lot, and fortunately it was fixed in 71.1. So yeah, create a default React Native project. So we will so I'm in the documentation. I will go to turbo native modules, and the purpose of this video is to show you how to create a native module for Android using turbo modules. So yeah, I have followed this documentation. So if you like this video, you can comment out on if you want some particular features like camera, or maybe something like how to use a jetpack library with turbo modules. So today's video will be focusing only on Android. I might do a video for iOS in the future. We'll see. Also, this is only for turbo modules. I'm not covering Fabric in this video. So yeah, let's just get started. So first, create a default React Native project. You can read this documentation if you want to. Next, what they tells us to do is that we have to define a specification file. Okay, so what you have to do, create a folder called rtn calculator. So here we are just creating a calculator module where we are going to add two numbers. That's why it is named as rtn calculator. The rtn is should be there, it is the prefix. uh, so rtn stands for React Native, here which you can see over here, and it should be present for any turbo module which you are creating. And inside that you create three subfolders: JS, iOS and Android. So I will show you how this. So this is our project. I hope you can see it. So this is our my React Native project, and inside that I have created one folder, and there are three folders: Android, JS. Sorry, I am I have not created iOS because we are only concentrating on Android. So yeah, Android and JS. Okay. Next is to define a JavaScript specification. So this file should be either a TypeScript or a Java flow file. Okay, and the file name again must be specific. It should be native your module name. So in our case, it should be native calculator. Okay, the file name, and with a .js or .jsx extension when using flow, or a .ts or .tsx extension when using TypeScript. So we are using TypeScript. Okay, so inside your JS folder, create this file native calculator.ts. Now what you have to do is that just copy paste this entire code. The only changes you have to make, like whenever you are creating a turbo module, is the method name. So here we are calculating number, addition of two numbers, right? That's why I named the method as add. It takes two numbers. Okay, and it will return you a promise. uh, I'm not sure why they are returning it as a promise. I think you can, in the new architecture, return like you can perform synchronize operation as well. Like whenever you calling a native module, it doesn't has to be async await every time or promise. So I'm not sure, but as I'm still exploring it, let's keep it as promise. Let's follow the documentation for now. Okay, and we will get a number. This addition, like this implementation of this add method, would be done in Kotlin or Java on the Android side. Okay, and the other change which you have to make is that you have to just change this name rtn calculator to whatever module name which you have. Okay, otherwise everything else remains the same for whatever module you are trying to create. Okay, so we have already done this. Okay, next what they want to do is module configuration. Okay, now we have to create a package.json inside that same rtn calculator directory. Okay, just copy paste this entire thing. You don't have to do anything else. Copy paste it. Just change this name to whatever module your module name is. So I'm following the same thing. So RTN calculator. Okay, next change which you have to do is, this is specific for iOS. Okay, RTN dash calculator. Then you can change this according to your needs. Like these are like uh, repository details, like change whatever you want. Next important thing is, this name should be correct. Okay, and make sure you add spec at the end. Type should be module js, like this js src directory should be js, and java package name is com.rtn calculator. Okay, that's it. We have already created this. Now this is pretty, now they are so I'm not following iOS, so I will skip it for now. Now for Android, they have provided you the structure of how it should look like. Okay, so this should be, if I open the Android folder, inside that I have to create an src folder, inside that main folder, inside that java, inside that com, and inside that rtn calculator. Okay, and I have also have to create a build.gradle file. Don't worry about this .gradle and .idea, and also about this local dot properties, like these were automatically generated for me. Like when I try to import this Android folder in Android Studio, this local dot properties file got generated. Like it automatically uh, tries to find the path of your Android HDK. So do this build.gradle for now. Okay, and you have to create calculator package.java. So I have already created it. Then you have to create build.gradle, which I have already showed you, and I have just copy pasted all the code. So yeah, you can see over here I have just copy pasted all the code. Just make sure you are writing the right namespace. So it should be rtn calculator. Everything else remains the same for whatever module you are trying to make or create. Then inside calculator.package, what we are, like this is like boilerplate code which you have to add. Just name this calculator package. Like this will contain the calculator model, but we will come back to this later. And this is like again calculator module dot name. So here from now you can just copy this, but later on we will be changing this file to include the calculator module. Now the native code. So first it is for iOS, so I will skip it for now. Also, if you notice, they at the start of the documentation they have told you that add the rtn calculator outside the project name. I don't know why, but they are thinking that everyone will make their turbo module open source, which is not the case for 90% of the time. No one, like very few people make open source projects, which is unfortunate. Like even I don't make an open source projects. Sorry about that. But make sure this should be part of your project. It should not be outside your project, otherwise it might cause you issues. So this is for iOS, I will skip it for now. Now here comes the main Android part. So here, because we have added rtn calculator inside our project, instead of using yarn add double dot slash rtn calculator, you have to use yarn add dot slash calculator. There will be only single dot. Then you can cd into your Android folder and run this command. So this is also important. So I was not able to run this command from my terminal. So what I had to do is that I had to open the Android folder, this Android folder, not the RTN calculators Android folder. So this Android folder I have to open in Android Studio. Then I had to open the terminal of Android Studio and then run this command. So that's how I was able to run this command. Also make sure you add yarn add dot slash RTN calculator and not double dot slash RTN. Okay, once you run that command, it would do some kind of a code generation. So to check, you have to go to node modules, then search for rtn calculator. see here. Then you have to go to Android, and you should be seeing this build folder. Okay, so in 0.70.0 this build folder was not getting generated, and I had raised on of issue on React Native's GitHub repo, which got resolved once 0.77, sorry, not 0.71.0, this issue was present, but in 0.71.1 this issue got resolved. Okay, so this should be there. Also, I have to run code gen. Before you do anything, make sure you switch to the new arc enable property from false to true. Okay, so you can find this. Okay, I will just search for it, new arc enable. Before you run that, yeah, thank god, you have to go to your gradle.properties inside your Android folder, and you have to make the new arc enable equal to true. Okay, now you have to write a calculator. Was it module? Yeah, module.java, and here you would write the actual calculation. So once you extend this native calculator spec, it would automatically this tell you automatically, the IDE will you give you hint that you need to implement this add method. So here we have implemented this add method, and we are actually doing the addition and doing promise.resolve. Okay, so this is the main main file where we do the implementation of the method which we added in the tsx file .ts file. Okay, and in calculator.package you have to add this extra code where you are referencing the calculator module in calculator package. So I will show you the files. Android node RTN calculator, Android src calculator module.java. Don't forget the package, and in calculator package.java. So this is the last piece of native code. Then adding the turbo module to your app. So again, make sure you run this yarn add dot slash RTN calculator. I'm not worried about iOS. Make sure you have enabled the new arc enabled. We have already done that. Now to use it in your JS file, I will go to app.tsx, sorry. First you have to import your file. So I have imported my file. Then to use the method, I can use rtn calculator.add. So it is telling that rtn is possibly null. I can do this like this. Okay, and you have to await it, then you will get a value. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.